John, this is amazing, because what you're describing here, and I don't think we have all that many admissions committee people who watch this kind of thing, but what I'm hearing is the admissions process gone right for everybody. And what I mean by that is, so everything we were saying earlier about when you're truly authentic, and I know when you hear from the admissions committee, it just sounds like
Oh
blah
my
blah blah.
gosh. It's yeah.
It sounds so thin, and that's not a shot at admissions committees because they mean it, but it sounds like nothing to applicants' ears. But again, they really mean it. And they are looking for fit. They're not just looking for, hey, we're going to get the most elite people to fill our class and that's it. But we want to make sure that this is somebody who is going to be happy here and have it be a fit. And it sounds like in kind of saying, hey, here's who I am. Here's what motivates me. I'm a family guy. I've had some health scares. I'm looking for balance. There's ways in which I want to change the world, but I also have had a whole set of life experiences here. So this is the process, I think, working really well, partly because you took the task of saying, I'm going to be truly authentic, answer these questions for real.
I think there's one bit that I guess I still struggle with, but if I could tell myself to do it earlier on and get the mojo around I'd want to have, and that's around, X factor and star power. Like especially for Stanford, you hear there's supposed to be some sort of like big X factor, do something, big. And not that, I think that everyone has to change the world before going or to that effect, but I've been helping a couple of my buddies now look at essays and stuff like that, and there seems to be this kind of inclination to not really sell the best parts of themselves, right? To keep it a little bit closer to the chest, to kind of put it in more formal tone, or to kind of bury the lead, if you will. I would genuinely believe that anyone who has the right ability and stats and background like is a good like person that could apply to and arguably get into Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Kellogg, Booth. And I would recommend like getting very personal and deep about the things that are very important, and to realize that you do have like an X factor with it, right? Like with Stanford, I wrote about those things. With Kellogg, that story I told you about the steak, I wrote about that, right? I wrote about going to Bain and how I'm going to change it. At Booth, I wrote about how my mom's line, my family were pioneers, and I'm a different kind of pioneer, and here's how I've broken the chain, right? And done those things. For Wharton, a similar story about how I'm going to fulfill my dreams by doing this, what I'm going to bring. So I think that there's so much varnish and polish. I'm just not a polished guy, and I think that moving that away allows you to not only be authentic, but it also like lets you understand that, like, yeah, like you got star power, you got the X factor. Like I'd love to see you all there at Stanford with me. Like I don't think you can't, right? I think it's very possible, but I think I don't know. I'm not saying to throw out advice from other people and admissions, consultants, but like I don't know, being real worked for me. Survivor's bias, but it worked.
And I think that's totally fair. Think about the people on these admissions committees reading thousands of applications every season, and a lot of them are over polished and lack sort of the personal touch. So if you can write something that's readable and a good piece of writing, but is deeply personal, I think you got something there, John.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more informative content.